and they will go the full 20, no doubt about that. They will not panic. They've got a wonderful defensive structure. They've got game breakers all over the paddock. They've got a man like DJ Forbes who leads by example. He's wonderful in the tight, but we know what Fiji can do when they get the confidence going, when the ball sticks to the hands. Time for the anthems.
The crowd stands. God defend New Zealand. A lot of supporters in the crowd.
Oh, plenty of New Zealanders in this area. Southeast Queensland,
don't they?
Well, they come here to work.
Oh, Fiji. Wonderful and emotional Hosea Kolonisau there. And welcome all of you across the world who are looking in, obviously in Fiji, but as well Portugal, Romania, to Mexico and to Brazil, the Middle East, to the USA, UK, Fox Sports, of course, and Samoa and Tonga and all the islands in the Pacific, and New Zealand and Australia and Canada and Portugal and so on. It's a world game. It's a world final of immense excitement here. And congratulations for the honour of officiating the final goes to Anthony Moyes, an Australian 30-year-old Sydney-based school teacher, his second season of the 7th World Series and the referee in the first grade Premiership in Sydney. Should be fit enough. He's a marathon running specialist. Anyway, an exciting one.
We're underway, and it is New Zealand kicking off. And they've all gone without it. These early exchanges will be very crucial indeed as Fiji put it through their hands.
I think you're right. I think, for Fiji need to be the first scorer, as you said, I think that would make a huge difference to their attitude.
Well, here's early possession for New Zealand, and it's Toby Arnold getting it out to the playmaker. Keep an eye on this one. Tamasi Thama must be in contention for player of the tournament. DJ Forbes, so good in the tight, isn't he?
Thank you.
Kalai scored 3 tries already on day 2. So hard to stop Arnold goes in to distribute to Thama, and Forbes in midfield. Gets it out to Solomon King, the man from North Harbour, on the 10-metre mark. Fiji territory. Advantage being played here for New Zealand, and Tim Mickelson will take it quickly. Mickelson, he beat one. Great run by the tall man from Waikato. Another advantage being played here, and Thama has an opportunity out here on the right. He beat one. He's got a man on the inside. The cover comes across and closes the hole. Mickelson distributes now to Waikum Bula. Held up in front of the uprights. Mickelson thought about going left, then looked for the playmaker, Thama. This is Halai. Good defence by Fiji. They're not panicking. Mickelson down the short side. Mickelson, and throws it back into the field of play, but he was into touch.
Well, what a thrilling start. New Zealand dominating possession. And New Zealand, well, couldn't find the gap in the end. It looked as though they might have created. Yes. Remember, by the way, it's 10 minutes each way. Here's Mickelson, and it was the little man. It was Ikani Konda who got across to save the day. So it's Fiji back virtually on their own line. The throw in by Mosi Thango. Good straight throw it was, to long it out to Ikani Konda. And they promise they'll run from anywhere, and they're trying to here. Lutu Mailangi. They've got pace, they've got Colin Isau in support there. And there's the break. Oh, brilliant. Now it's pace. No one will catch him. They're not even going to try. Just look at the flying Fijian. All the way, it's Setefano Thakau, the captain. Well, they said and they promised and they have that we're going to attack from anywhere. And look at the elation for their supporters. This guy, 33-year-old in his 9th season of sevens. Well, what an example of a sportsman. And what pace for a man of this size. Look at the dummy.
Well, they fell for it, the men in black, didn't they? And it was uncharacteristic. And when a Fijian gets into open space, it's very hard to run them down. Setefano Thakau, the 33-year-old, made his debut up the road, up the freeway in Brisbane in 02-03 of that series. And he's been a wonderful player for Fiji over the years. Well, the hand laid upon him.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And, you know, this is, to me, the thrill of sevens rugby. Almost the New Zealand's tried, 2 or 3 times almost, and then first possession for Fiji, and they score from their own line. It is extraordinary. The team that scores restarts, and so it's into the hands of Mickelson again. He's a very important figure in the New Zealand squad. This is the captain, DJ Forbes. But they'll come back. This is Raikambula into big Frank Halai. Bit of a monster he is. Big handoff. Clung to desperately, but breaks 2 tackles. Colusau just couldn't get hold. And they danger again. Solomon King goes across to Toby Arnold. Arnold to Mickelson. Mickelson to DJ Forbes. To Tomasi Thama scores in the corner. What a start to this final.
Oh, yeah. You can put it down to Frank Halai. He caused some havoc on the right-hand side. Then they were stretched, the Fijian defenders on the other side. No problem there, but good refereeing by Anthony Moyes. He consulted with the in-goal touch judge and his assistant on the touchline, making sure that Thama got it down. It looked good from here.
Well, there've been some great players in the black shirts of the New Zealand Sevens, but I think Tomasi Thama will be a legend. What a performance. His 8th season for the 31-year-old, and he is the playmaker supreme.
Ball in front, running onto it. Brilliant sevens rugby.
15 seconds, let's go.
And they hit back like we knew they could. And Thama from out wide. It's not a bad attempt. No. He's unsuccessful with the conversion of his own try, but they're on the score sheet. And it's game on in the final. Gold Coast Sevens, it's 7-5. Fiji, and he is the leading point scorer in this tournament, 41.
And there's going to be a penalty to New Zealand on the restart for an offence. I'm not sure which Fijian it was, but the referee said arms in the tackle. So it's New Zealand, who actually don't make the 10 meters.
Middle.
No penalty. It was just
There
a
wasn't
normal
a penalty
restart.
in the end. It was just perhaps a warning. I thought he'd given the penalty. He hasn't.
So a mistake there from New Zealand with the restart, unlike them.
Yep.
But now Fiji with an opportunity.
Leave it for.
7-5.
Offloading.
Back.
Got
Loose
loose.
play.
Touch.
Came off a Fijian, and then
No,
one of the
nibble.
Fijian players down in back play. It's the captain and the try scorer, Stefano Thakau. Didn't quite see what happened there.
Well, he's a key figure, isn't he? Not just as
Captain.
a leader, but as a
Careful
performer.
after the ball is passed, please. Yeah.
What did he say? Is he suggesting it was a late
Let's
tackle?
play advantage against you down here. Use arms. Use arms.
Use
And
arms.
shoulder charge.
Use arms, shoulder charge. Well, it's Thakau who's injured. Obviously not a warning to do with that. Or is he just... Is it a muscle? Maybe a leg muscle. They don't need him off, that's for sure. An amazing start here. 7-5 to Fiji, a try apiece. Imbola, there he is, the third man along with the strapping on his wrist. He is the oldest man, to my knowledge anyway, who's ever made a debut appearance in World Sevens. He is 39, the captain of the Naitasiri team, and he's just come back. Oh, and this is a cruel moment for Fiji. In such form as we saw with his earlier try, Stefano Thakau. That's the end of this tournament for him in the saddest way, and in such brilliant form in that semi-final and in this early part of the first. So James Brown comes on.
Good sportsmanship here. Yeah, DJ Forbes popping
Well,
over.
there's-
They all know each other, don't they? They
And
live
there's
in the same
respect, isn't
hotels.
they?
They travel together.
Yeah, and they respect each other, and yet they are the keenest of rivals.
So the end of the tournament for Thakau. Let's hope it's not the end of the opening stops on the series for him. Remember, it's Dubai next, and that's a poor error there.
Well, wasn't it just? I mean, it's the second fundamental error, isn't it? One was the restart kick,
There's the mark.
and then a crooked throw-in.
And he will not be happy, the master coach. Gordon Titchens, a couple of rare mistakes from his team.
Pause. Engage.
And the more possession the Fijians obtain, the harder they are to stop. And there's the dummy coming in from Kanakonda. But no, he leaves it behind now. So good work there from big Frank Halai for New Zealand. Right, Kumbula getting it out to King. And Solomon King taken about 30 out from his own line. They'll work the short side through Mickelson, and he finds an opening. It soon closes, though.
He's a tricky customer, isn't he?
No hands.
Very experienced as well. Arnold, King in midfield, takes plenty of stopping, but it was a good tackle around the bootlaces by Kolonisau. And Thama gives it to Mickelson. Mickelson, he's got Thama. He gives it to him now, and that is brilliant play by the New Zealanders. Thama, Tomasi Thama, he gets his second try.
Well, his skills never lessen, do they? He's inspirational. It was the creative work that he made. I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing, setting it up to Mickelson. And instead of saying, well, off you go, boy, he was there after doing the clever work here. Look at the little sort of subtle moments. And then look at this as Mickelson goes towards the line. He's there. And Mickelson knew he'd be there. And this is the brilliant skill and the teamwork that Gordon Titchens has instilled in this side. I still think this guy is unsung in a way, Mickelson, because, you know, the number of breaks he makes, the number of good fast runs down the field, and well, what's the score now with the conversion? It's 12-7. New Zealand back in front, and there's Tim Mickelson, another of the Waikato man.
It was his shimmy that really put Avosi Ruthango off the chase and just gave them enough time to get the pass away on the inside.
A minute and 18 of this first half to go. The battle there with Nai Kandawa.
Not used.
And it's a little applause for himself. DJ Forbes congratulating his hard men up front in winning the scrummage put in. And these moments so important. Tackle attempts. You see, Fiji had far more effort and missed 6. You see, you can't miss 6. That's bound to concede some try somewhere, and it has 2 of them. So it's New Zealand building up to the end of the first 10 minutes. Toby Arnold.
This is King in midfield, and despite the New Zealanders making a couple of
look at the
mistakes.
Impact there. Impact this time of Fiji, but the ball was knocked on up close, knocked on there, and it's going to be a scrum to New Zealand, and the Fijian supporters give a few little boos from the crowd in the stands.
You won the ball. Mark is here.
Anthony Moyes in charge of this epic final, which is really in the balance and may well be to the very last moment of the 20 minutes. So it's Tamasi Thama to feed. It spins round and it's a chaotic scrummage messed up by Fiji, and now they've got a penalty. What's that? Foot tangled on the ground. Really? Okay. I thought the ball was well out of the scrum by then, and Mosi Bathango is stunned by that decision. What do you think?
Well, it looked pretty good to me, but the referee
he's
have any hesitation saying.
So it's a ball, free ball to New Zealand, and again look at the impact of Solomon King. Now it's DJ Forbes to Halai, trying to force him out. Oh, almost the interception. It goes back.
Knock on White, then
and the knock on. And the crowd are getting unhappy here. James Brown was the man who did knock it forward. I think he did. And it's going to be half-time with New Zealand ahead by 1 score. 12 points to 7. What an intense battle this is. And it's a long way for it before it's sealed.
I think the message from
next week, they still have the capacity to come back. 5 points difference is nothing, especially between these 2 greatest rivals. But Fiji will remember that in the last 6 finals they've met, New Zealand have won them all. So, well, wonderful support around the world, and I hope you're enjoying this. There's Mickelson, played a big part in that first half.
68 tries, 23rd tournament for a man from Waikato. Has some great skills, and I think you're right, a little unsung in this New Zealand team, but it's a team full of stars, and I guess it's hard for them to shine all the time. Well, they do shine, but they don't outshine their teammates all that often. So Fiji getting things underway in the second half of the final, the Gold Coast Sevens for 2011. Thama getting it out to Arnold, cut out pass, Raikambula. And that's the 9, Frank Halai.
There's an injury too to one of the Fijians. I think it's Nai Kandawa.
So Thama senses that, and he throws the dummy. And he throws it again, and now it's on the inside to his captain, DJ Forbes, and that's gone forward.
Brilliant from Koloni Sao into the hands of Bathango. On the counter they go. This time with Lutu Mailangi. The crowd supporters of Fiji raise their voices. Koloni Sao has pace, better pace than DJ Forbes. It goes via James Brown. Pressure from Raikambula. No gaps in the defence yet. Emosi in trouble. Goes to Ikanikonda. The breakdown. This is the strength of New Zealand here, but a penalty. Didn't stay on his feet. Raikambula penalised, and the referee is now going to recognise that they need maybe a stretcher for the injured man, and I think it's Nai Kandawa, and that will be a second forward and a big setback again for Fiji.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this match. They're without their captain Thakao, who is injured, and immediately the physio was showing concern for Naikandoa.
Yes.
Well, they're bringing on the 39-year-old man, Senivalati Vunimbola, to bolster up the forwards with the two numbers one to come on. What a story this is, Greg. You know, a villager who lives in the middle of the biggest Fijian island. He's a villager, and he's played for Naitasiri for something on like 2 decades, and finally he gets this honour. And I think it's a wonderful tribute, even if it's just for the one tournament.
Well, you've got to say, where has he been for the last 19 yees? They normally bring him on very early.
Absolutely battling to get into the side, apparently. He's been knocking on the door. And he and the man who's injured now also one who is a villager who's come from the same place in Naitasiri. This is a sad moment, and you never want an injury, you know, in any game. And in the final, to lose two key men is very significant. It's not easy for the players.
An opportunity just to get the game plan.
Yeah, I was
right.
just going to say, it's not easy for the players who have got to stand around, is it?
It's not indeed, because Sevens is all about momentum. But I guess it is an opportunity for them to just get their breath again. Still 8 minutes 45 to go in regular time in the final.
There's a clever little player, Emosi Visango. Two of the greatest halfbacks here in the game of sevens. Emosi and on the other side, of course, Tomasi Sama.
When you look at the performance so far, no doubt about it, these two teams deserve to be in the final.
Yeah. Another injury problem too for Hosea Kolonisau, who's gone off. So another problem too. So Fiji have lost another of their key players. He's really looks as though he damaged something below his back, or maybe on the thigh there.
Looks distressed, doesn't he?
Looks very distressed, and rather sad way, because it takes a bit of the excitement out of this.
Just goes to show also at the business end of the tournament, we've now seen the Medicab, the stretcher on the field in the last hour or so. Of course, most of the time it's precaution. Let's hope everything is okay.
We wish the injured men all the very best, as the crowd do indeed, with the sympathetic applause from the crowd.
So they'll wait for the Medicab to clear the pitch. Gold Coast Sevens fever pitch. And
just to mention, Semi Randrandra has come on, the 19-year-old in the Fijian side. So they're running out of numbers. Good player, though, this youngster. But can they win the possession with those two key forwards gone?
Well, plenty of time for them. But it is New Zealand leading 12 points to 7. So Fiji, straight through. That's great work from
Malangi.
Lutu Malangi. They hit back after that break. And it's locked up in the final.
Oh, fantastic. And, well, outrageous, really, wasn't it? You wouldn't believe it. Just carved his way through. Oh, like a knife through butter. Easy. Jolly Lutu Malangi of the Police Club in Nandronga.
Terrific stuff, and wow, we've got a game on our hands here. The Fijian fans are on their feet. Can they take the lead through Ganaconda? No, it's unsuccessful. Not a good attempt. But it is 12-all, New Zealand and Fiji. What a finish to the Gold Coast Sevens.
Well, these two teams have played 69 times over the 12 previous series. And here they are, as they were in the very first Cup final back in Dubai in 1999. And it's Tomasi Sama. Full 7 minutes to go, so all sorts of things could happen.
Waikambula trying to work a bit of magic. Sama did well to evade the Fijian defence, but they put plenty of pressure on, and even a superstar like Sama can come up with a mistake under pressure in a final.
What a key moment that is, you know, underneath your own posts and the pressure No, this is a golden chance for Fiji.
Step up.
They'll get the put into the scrum. 6 metres out. Expect a big shove from this very experienced New Zealand forwards, and there is a mistake by Fiji. Crucial. They went for an early engagement, and the free kick goes against them. Oh,
can you believe it? Can you believe it? You'd say almost a certain try in that position.
Is that a turning point? Well, New Zealand will look to capitalise, and it is King.
Tell you what, he relishes the contact, doesn't he?
Oh, loves it.
Jeez.
Can't get enough of it.
No.
Tharma, he'll be pretty happy with that free kick going against Fiji as well after he made the mistake. So Arnold goes to ground. It's been stolen by Fiji, though.
The chance here, surely it has to be Emosi Batango. And just look at the Fijian supporters. They're in 7-7.
Well, another mistake by New Zealand. Emosi Batango, 89th try in the World Series. Well, he was on his feet. He was entitled to go for the ball, and it was the veteran, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the
39-year-old.
How about that? Well, if he does nothing else, a key moment by the oldest man to play in a debutant game for his country. But there's the man who scored it.
Right to go, guys.
19 points to 12. Fiji edging ahead in the final.
Let's go. Time on.
That'll lift them again, won't it?
So here's the restart. They go long this time, wanting to keep the New Zealanders inside their own 22, wanting to keep the pressure on them. So Joe Webber, this youngster from the Waikato, the Hamilton Boys High School star, member of the New Zealand schoolboy squad in 2011. Here's DJ Forbes. They wrap him up.
12, release.
Penalty, not releasing, not getting out of the way. Mickelson takes it quickly. Advantage, not back 10. Another penalty, though.
Wait. Here's the way over here. No, here. Mark, yep.
Arnold told to take it on the mark. So he runs towards the halfway mark. Okambula back to Forbes, over the top it goes. And here is Webber. Webber pops it out the back door, but straight into the arms of Levi Kalakonda. And now, across field goes Emosi, looking to link up with James Brown. The cover gets across. Well, this is the Fijians of old. They don't mind going backwards in an attempt to go forward eventually.
Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely wonderful. And the attack coming from Radradra. Remember, back home in Fiji, this is the break. This could be the key moment with Lutumalangi. Back it comes away from Ikarikonda. Still in Fiji's hands. Now with Radradra. The covering is tremendous work. Raikambula coming back for New Zealand. But there's an overlap on this side. James Brown is free. Emosi Batango goes. Cuts back inside. Oh, look at the support. This is Batu. Oh, yes.
They're celebrating at Skill Park on the Gold Coast in Queensland. I reckon they might be on their feet right around the beautiful Fiji Islands as well. It's not over yet, but they've got some breathing space now. 24 points to 12.
Oh, what about this? This is just Fijian at their height. Emosi Batango on the cut back inside. It's the support that does it. Watasoni Batu came from nowhere. And just remember that Fiji haven't won a title for ages as far as they're concerned. Wellington 2010. That's an era for the supporters back home who must be now on the edge of their seats. But here's a worry, because this key man who's had a wonderful performance here, Emosi Batango, is in some real trouble. It's not Emosi.
No,
it's the man who scored it.
And there's a successful conversion attempt as well, so even more breathing space for them.
It's Batu.
Yeah, the try scorer injured himself getting across the line. And so he's going to come from
The next
tell you what,
man,
they might be lucky to have 7 men. 7 fit men by the end of this.
he's loosening a bit. He may stay on. Well, they've had the... no, he's going off, and they're bringing on Sitivoni Wanga.
The 23-year-old from Suva getting his moment of glory in the final, you would think.
It's not over yet. There's still 2 minutes to play.
So New Zealand, now or never. Tomasi Thama, can he conjure up something? Switch of play to Mickelson, and they're having to do it inside their own 22 again. This is playing into the hands of the Fijians. Mula, dummies, has to take the tackle. No, he pops it out the back door, and they come up with another mistake. This is so unlike New Zealand.
That's the pressure, isn't it?
And a drop goal attempt. No.
Not the best option, perhaps, but it does use up time. 26-12. It's 2 converted tries that would get them level.
A little bit of rain
raining.
falling as well.
Well,
I don't think it's going to dampen Fiji's parade.
It's dampening New Zealand's hopes, I think, but not Fiji's. And it's really running down in heavy drops now.
So Thama with the restart. Mickelson going high, advantage for New Zealand, and came off one of the Fijians. And here goes Webber, Joe Webber. Oh, he's got into
quick.
some space. Joe Webber,
Oh,
they're pulling down from behind, and he loses the ball. It's not going the way of New Zealand. It's lost forward, so it'll be a scrum for the Fijians inside the last minute as the rain does continue to fall here on the Gold Coast.
A tackle of the tournament. Lutumalangi from behind and made sure that he grabbed the ball by clinching the arms of the New Zealander. It's 39 seconds. It's going to be Fiji's title.
And they're using their last fit man off the bench, and it is Mudiali Nathingalevu.
Yeah,
one of the players
Nathingalevu.
from-
I mean, to think that he's off the bench. Wonderful player.
Still another sub. Wait.
Well, you go back to when? 2002, when Fiji last beat New Zealand in the final. Extraordinary, isn't it?
Touch.
That's 9 years ago.
Engage.
30 seconds remaining. Fiji in the driver's seat. Lathango.
Just going to waste the last few seconds here. And it's 20 seconds to go. There's no way back now for New Zealand. This man has been a key figure in an epic performance from Fiji. That long wait, all these times, they've been so close, so near losing cup finals, but now this is a wonderful start for them. The new era has opened with triumph. The crowd are applauding here. The victory is assured. They just want the ball in touch. It's there. Fiji are back on top of the world again. And here in the Gold Coast, a magnificent performance. Fiji are cup winners. And what does that mean? What does it mean to a man on his debut who's 39? What does it mean to the country? You back home there in those wonderful islands. Well, I think there's a little bit of karma that's going to be drunk tonight.
And they thoroughly deserve it. A bit of a shaky start, really, but then they hit the ground running.